Hello. I thought I would try something different because I've been buying a lot of Oz related items this summer and I wanted to get the information out to you, my lovely customers, as quickly as possible. So I thought I would try a video format for what I currently have available for sale. And this first video will focus on Wizard of Oz related ephemera and other unusual items. And then the second video will be actually the Oz books that I have for sale. So first I want to show you these three Wizard of Oz original paper masks. These were produced in 1939 in conjunction with the Wizard of Oz MGM movie, and they were released by Lowe's Incorporated, and they literally are just paper masks, and so they were kind of hard to keep and not many survived. These are in reasonable condition. The Scarecrow has some fold marks and a small closed tear here. And on the back, he has one rubber band that's broken, but the tabs are still there, otherwise in decent shape. The wizard has fared a little better. He just has a little bit of loss here to the paper on the front, but it doesn't go all the way through to the back, and he has both of the rubber bands still intact. Cowardly Lion, alas, has lost his nose. So sad. But he's still recognizable as a Cowardly Lion, and he has both of his rubber bands intact on the back, although I wouldn't try to actually use them because they'll probably break. They're extremely fragile. Okay, so the next thing is also an early item from the 1930s. It's 1934 World's Fair Key. This was a souvenir from the Chicago 33-34 World's Fair, where they had the Enchanted Island playground for children, and as part of that Enchanted Island they had a giant Scarecrow and Tin Man figurine, and this top of the key here shows the Scarecrow on the end and some of the other characters along with that, and then when you flip it over it turns into a castle, and the Scarecrow's hat is actually one of the turrets. This is the bronze colored. They had different colored finishes that they used, and it's in reasonable condition as usual. It has some wear and some loss to the finish. It's a nice heavy key. Okay, let's talk about Denslow a little bit. So Denslow did a bunch of advertising work in 1910 to 1915 before he died. After the success of all his early books, he fell into a little bit of obscurity and started doing some more menial work, but he's still had some great talent and some wonderful things that came out of that. And he did a gig for Teddy Bear Bread where there was a series of postcards advertising Teddy Bear Bread with his wonderful grinning bears. And they also had some other advertising things that came out. And here is actually a sewing kit, a needle holder basically, with Denslow's bear on the front, and on the back it says demand Teddy Bear Bread in 2 sizes, 5 cents and 10 cents, the quality the best, baked at Kolb's Bakeries in Philadelphia. So that's a fun and pretty scarce advertising item related to Denslow, who of course was the first illustrator of the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Then we have a button set that's more modern. This is probably from the 70s through the 90s, where we just have Dorothy from the movie. We have a 1974 OzCon pin. It was probably one of the promotions as part of the convention that year, and it's got a face of Ozma, which I just love. I actually have one of these pins that I wear at the conventions myself, and this is another one that I found. And then we have just a series of 4 with characters and art from the books. Here we have a Denslow, I believe that's a Denslow Tin Man, and then we have 3 Neil art items from, I believe, the Marvelous Land of Oz. So that's just a nice, fun button set if you're going to a convention or something like that to have. Here we have an original Viewmaster pack from The Wizard of Oz. It's a set of 12 stereo pictures, and it's still in its original plastic wrap with its original sticker price, and it's copyright 1962 by Sawyer Inc. So it's a fun, unusual Wizard of Oz relatively early item. And then we have some more Denslow material related to trade cards and postcards. These trade cards are actually extremely early. These are 6 different cards from Skip by the Light of the Moon, which was a comic theatrical production in Philadelphia in 1983 when Denslow was there. And the title card, which I don't have, usually these come in sets of 8 cards. I have 6 here. The title card actually has WD mark, which is known to be the mark that Denslow used at the time. Probably actually it meant Woodard and Denslow, as Woodard was his partner. But these are definitely in Denslow's style, and they use a characteristic device that he used with a moon behind the characters to kind of set them off, and they all have different sayings on them. Most of them show the actual play and advertising information on the back. So really nice little very early set there. And then these are postcards that Denslow did later on, more in the 1910 to 1915 stage I was telling you about, for the Chi Enamel Company, which was kind of a racist name for a company that basically made varnishes and paints and things like that. And their advertising characters were these Chinese boys who went around people's houses and actually varnished for them. And there's probably 6 or so of these cards that Denslow did. Some of them are signed with his seahorse and Den, but these 2 actually are not, but they're in the same style in the same time period. So we're pretty sure that they're done by Denslow as well. One is the House Beautiful, and one's You're Cordially Invited, to basically a demonstration of this wonderful Chi Enamel product. And there's our backs. This one is dated, hard to tell, I think it's 1910. This one's basically unused. And then I have another postcard that's completely different. This actually is Montgomery and Stone, the characters, actors who were in the Wizard of Oz 1902-1903 play that Baum and Denslow to some extent were involved with. And this is just a fun kind of spin-off from that, showing these actors in a different play called The Red Mill. And in here they're dressed up as Sherlock Holmes and Watson. And an interesting another side Oz connection is that the lyrics for this operetta, The Red Mill, were actually done by Henry Blossom Sr. And many years later, I believe it's his grandson, Henry Blossom III, wrote The Blue Emperor of Oz, kind of a unusual and hard to find Oz book. And it is used with a 1911 postmark on the back. Okay, then we'll talk just about this Over the Rainbow sheet music. This is published by Leo Feist, and it's the traditional Over the Rainbow song from the movie. It does not have Jitterbug in the list, so this is not the earliest of these, but still early, probably 1939 to 1940, and it's a nice, complete, and in very good condition early sheet music item related to the movie. Nice graphics, and of course we have all the characters here on the side. Here's another kind of different, this is more modern item that I don't usually carry, but I came across it, so I thought I would offer it. We have basically a music box, a jewelry music box with the movie characters here on the front, and when you open it up, plays a song that I'm sure you recognize, and it comes with a certificate of authenticity. Okay, we're almost done. This is a fun advertising sheet from Riley and Lee Company, who published the Oz books, of course. And this is advertising their new format, this white cover format that came out in the early 60s. And it's a fold out of 9 different panels, starting with A Wonderful World of the Wizard of Oz. And then it shows basically all 14 Oz books that were available in this format with a list and some information about them. So really nice flyer, hard to find this one for sure. Also has an order blank on the back in very good condition. Okay, and the last item I have is a series of posters. These were posters advertising a 1999 VHS release of The Wizard of Oz, a copyright by Warner Home Video, and they say destroy after 12/1/99, which is kind of interesting. So I don't know how many of this set survived. It is a set of 4. So they have the 4 main characters, the Tin Man, Dorothy, Cowardly Lion, and of course the Scarecrow. And they're in good condition with a little bit of light wear. And as a bonus, I am including in this set this Rob Roy McVeigh wonderful Wizard of Oz poster. It's kind of a hard to find poster that he did from the 70s, and it's signed here in Rob Roy McVeigh. But I'm including it for free because it's not in very good condition. It's got some staining here, and it's got a lot of wrinkling up at the top, and I believe a little bit of tape repair on the back and some writing on the back. So that's kind of a freebie to go along with the others. And that's all I have for you on this video. Stay tuned, and I will be creating another one as well with the Oz books I have available right now.